much for watching my video. So for my class this past month, I was responsible for forming a whole lesson plan. In the lesson plan, I chose to teach sight words to young children. I first taught them a quick lesson on phonics, and shortly after, I taught them how to read the sight words. After teaching them, I read to them books that included the sight words that we learned, so they were able to apply and generalize what they just learned.
That's awesome. So I really like enjoyed the video because you were able to like not only write down the words and also like show how they sound like, but you were able to like also use like examples, and I felt like that was like super helpful. And as a visual learner myself, I thought that it was like way better than just like having them like sound it out and hope for the best.
Yeah, thank you
Um,
so much.
what have you learned about your students' learning characteristics that you did not realize previously?
I definitely learned that in teaching the sight words, I should have paired a picture with the words that I taught. I did get the books for the students to learn after teaching the words. However, I feel like it would have been helpful in the moment for them to match the picture and the words simultaneously.
That's a really good point that you bring up, actually. I remember when I was really young, I used to associate words with pictures, and then eventually, like, the picture kind of faded out. The kids I work with right now have this 100 word book with a picture and the word right under it. I think that this helps them a lot with making sure they have an image in their head whenever the word is spoken.
Yeah, I think I know what book you're talking about, and I think that is a really good foundation builder for children who are first learning to read.
Did you find any other characteristics that interested you?
I also learned that sometimes that things happen in situations where students can't come to class and it's out of my control. It's the teacher's responsibility to make sure those students make up the work they missed. However, it may be hard for those students who already struggle in the classroom when they miss class. So the funny thing is about this, I had set up more kids to come to my teaching lesson, but the family got sick and they were not able to come. I was so stressed out about it, but I realized that it was more important for me to just focus on my lesson plan and execute it as to just worrying about them not showing up. And I feel like this was a good experience for me because as a teacher, curveballs will be thrown at me and it's like my job to manage it, not anyone else's.
I feel like that does happen a lot in classrooms where sometimes things come out of left field. It's definitely good that you're noticing this now as to later.
Yeah, I think so too.
So next question. Formulate how effective your instructional design was based on your planning and teaching as evidenced by data collected on student process and products of learning.
I think my instructional design was laid out pretty well. It was really organized and the steps were very broken down. I was able to teach the said sounds that I've taught and then put them into words for the students to use. After that, I was able to have the students create their own words from what they had learned with the similar sounds. I felt like this was a way to teach to show for understanding, and I think that having students do that helps them with the learning process for them, and it shows me that like they understand what I'm teaching them.
I really liked how you told them to create their own words with the same vowels. I think this helps the teacher see if the student is truly understanding of what is being taught.
Yeah.
Moving forward, how will you plan differently based on your knowledge of student learning characteristics, both previously known and newly discovered? And which additional differentiation strategies and multi-tiered levels of support will you consider?
Mm, I would say because my lesson was successful, moving forward, I'll probably go with the same techniques that I used, which include breaking down the sounds of letters and then putting it together in words, and then eventually reading it in books. I think what I could improve on would be giving more examples of each sound with a long vowel and short vowel in order, like, because I feel like I only briefly went over a few words and not so much like other words that they'll see. And I guess in order to use other differentiation strategies, I'll try to find different ways for students to learn, such as using games and like maybe even different books that they can read. I feel like there's so much opportunity and like different aspects that I can teach. So I think that'd be really good. So overall, I feel like I have to be flexible as a teacher because what works in this lesson plan may not work when I teach it again sometime down the road.
You're right, and you have to remember that all the students are different, so they all learn very differently. It's good you have a plan to make sure to keep an open mind. Lastly, how will you modify, extend, or incorporate new levels of presentation, expression, and engagement for each learners group as it relates to the processes and products of learning?
I know as a teacher we should always be looking towards trying to improve ourselves, and I feel like I could get the students more engaged next time by teaching them songs or rhymes that help them remember the sounds of letters. I remember doing that when I was younger. I feel like we learned a lot of songs, we learned a lot of rhymes that like help us remember certain things. So I feel like I could try doing more of those, even though it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. But I think that'd be a good help for students. And I also think having more visuals help younger children learn better. So I can add to that too. I think I have like a overall like really good grasp of the concepts, but I feel like because I lack experience, I'm unable to like truly express, I guess, or teach it fully to my best ability. But I think as time goes on, I'll just have to run through it more and learn from my mistakes, and then eventually I'll get better.
Overall, I really enjoyed seeing this video of you teaching young children. I feel like this is great. You were able to experience this before actually becoming a teacher in the real world. You're able to learn from your mistakes now and also learn to think on your feet. I wish you the best of luck, Shirley. I'm always here to answer any questions that you might have.
Thanks so much.